Messing with the homophobic/racist guy my grandma married after he kept asking me, a teenage girl, if I had a boyfriend. This happened about 17 years ago, but I was reminded of it today and had a good laugh, so I thought I would share. TW, homophobia, racism, and some creepy old man behavior. Backstory: when I was about 12, my grandma divorced my grandpa and got remarried to this guy I'll call Bill. Bill was in his late 60s, from East Texas, and as religious as they come, and from what I had heard from others/things he had said over the years, I was pretty sure he was homophobic and racist. Thankfully, I didn't see him much since they lived several hours away, but on certain big holidays, mostly Christmas, we'd all pack up and go stay with them for a few days to celebrate. Being a 12-year-old girl at the time, Bill made me uncomfortable mostly because every time I saw him, the first question out of his mouth was inevitably, "Do you have a boyfriend yet? Is there a boy you like?" etc. Sometimes he'd ask multiple times during the same trip. Every single time. I hated it. I'd just answer no and go hide out in the spare bedroom so he couldn't talk to me. The petty revenge. A few years later, I was /17 at the time, my mom told me Grandma and Bill were coming to town for Christmas that year. My sister was heavily pregnant and her due date was a few days after Christmas. There was no way we were traveling and risking her going into labor so far from home. I must have made some kind of face because my mom asked what was wrong, and since I had never told her, I explained how Bill creeped me out and was always asking me about boyfriends and stuff. I popped off and said something to the effect of, "I swear, the next time he asks me that, I'm going to tell him I have a boyfriend and a girlfriend." My mom, being a shit starter, was like, "Do it." So we made a plan. I was straight back then, but I had a lot of LGBT+ friends in high school, and one of my best friends, Mindy, was bi. We would use her name to make it sound natural and easy to remember all day instead of a fake name. I asked Mindy ahead of time if it was okay and she was all for it. She just wanted the details afterward. And if anyone else in my family who wasn't in on it asked me about Mindy, it would just add more credence to my lie when I talked about her or brought her up in conversation. The boyfriend was going to be all fake because I had a plan about him. Anyway, me and my mom are standing in the kitchen and Bill is sitting alone at the dining room table nearby. My mom, again, a shit starter, doesn't even wait for Bill to ask. I think she wanted to watch and didn't want a chance missing it if Bill asked while she wasn't around. A reenactment of our short conversation. "So, how's Mindy doing?" I was so sad when she said she couldn't come. Mom looks suitably sad. "Okay, so we're doing this now." I reply, "Yeah, I know, but she had family visiting as well and couldn't find time to get away." I turn and lock eyes with Bill, and since he was listening in on our conversation, I feel obligated to explain. "Mindy is my girlfriend." The look of shock and dismay on his face was so satisfying. He said something to the effect of, "Are you serious?" And at that point, it was on. "Oh yeah. Mindy is my girlfriend. She's super nice and very pretty. I'm sure you'll like her. Oh, and we also have a boyfriend. His name is," insert historically Hispanic name here. "I think it was Julio. But I mean, there's no way he could come. He's still in prison right now." I can just see his eyes getting bigger and bigger with everything I said, and I am having so much fun with it at that point. I mean, they say he's in this gang and that he killed this guy, but I know he totally didn't do it. Julio is so sweet and I love him so much. He treats Mindy and I so well. There's no way he could have done it. "That's right, honey," my mom said. "He'll get out soon and the three of you will be together again. Hopefully the wedding won't have to be pushed back." The best thing was that he couldn't even call me out on my lies because my mom was right there agreeing with every word I said. In the span of about 3 minutes, I had this man believing that not only was I gay and dating a woman, I was also dating a Hispanic guy who was in a gang and imprisoned for murder. Oh, and that we were all thinking of marriage. He did not talk to me for the rest of the holiday. I did notice him giving me strange looks, but I didn't care. As far as I was concerned, mission accomplished. The aftermath, I had to ask my mom about this part because I didn't remember. I forgot about Bill as soon as they left. She told me my grandma confronted her. "Why did you tell him that kind of stuff, ECT?" Mom explained why and that it wasn't his business, but Grandma thought what I did was worse and that what he had done was just small talk / wanting to get to know me. In the end, I don't think I ever saw Bill after that. Grandma left him a few years later and that was that. I like to think he didn't believe my grandma when she told him it was all lies and that he's still in East Texas thinking about the crazy granddaughter of the woman he used to be married to.